June, if you're not already aware, is Pride Month, and quite a lot of companies, seems like more and more every year, are figuring out that they can make a good profit by designing and selling items for Pride Month, most of which are items they just slap rainbows on. In this video, we're going to take a look at a few different Pride collections and see just how creative they are, or not, discuss whether they're appropriating imagery or whether they actually care about the LGBTQ community, and we'll talk about which collections are the best and which are the worst. Stay tuned. Hi YouTube, Autumn Beckman here. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. My channel is all about luxury living on a budget, from high-end luxury handbags and small goods to the everyday luxuries of life. If that sounds interesting to you, please make sure you subscribe, click the bell notification icon to be notified when I post new videos, and be sure to like the videos that you enjoy. And one of the perks of subscribing to this channel is you get to see my community post on your YouTube homepage, where I post deals, discount codes, sales, and rare finds related to these beautiful things we love. And all the collections that I'm talking about today will be linked below, so you can go check those out. If you see anything you're interested in, you can go buy it if it's still available. I have some really good stuff to show you and some really not so good stuff to show you. But before we get into that, I do want to let you know that this video is in collaboration with my friend Devin here on YouTube. His channel name is Devin Cristopher. He is also going to show some Pride collections. There will be a little bit of overlap, I think. I think we're both talking about Coach, but I don't know what else he's talking about, so he'll probably talk about things I'm not talking about. Please make sure you go check out Devin's video as well. It will also be linked below. And he and I tend to have pretty different perspectives and preferences on wardrobe pieces, so you'll probably get some pretty different perspectives from our videos. As I'm talking about these collections today, talking about what I like and don't like, what I have considered the most is the use of the rainbow. I think when you think about Pride, you think about Pride parades, you think about people dressed head to toe in rainbow, right? Very over the top, very out there, very colorful. So when you think about Pride collections, you tend to think everything's gonna have a rainbow on it, right? Well, here's the thing that I think a lot of people who design these collections forget. And that is that the LGBTQ community is just as diverse as any other community of human beings. Just like some straight people like rainbows and some straight people don't, I'm one of the ones who doesn't, the people in the LGBTQ community, some of them like rainbows and some of them don't. And it would be lovely to have that acknowledgement reflected in these collections. Unfortunately, it seems to be pretty rare. And for that reason, I think it seems like not a lot of thought and creativity are really put into these collections. Now, there are exceptions to that, and I will get to my favorite collection toward the end. This company did an amazing job with their collection this year. I'm really impressed with it. I think it clicks all kinds of boxes, so stay tuned for that. But first, I'm going to show you the collections that, well, let's say they phoned it in. And right before we talk about that, I want to talk about one other thing, and that is appropriation. This also comes into play when I'm talking about these collections. In the description box, there is a link to a website that lists some of the Pride collections that not only sell for profit, but also donate profits, whether it's 100% or some smaller percentage, to organizations that benefit the LGBT community in some way. In my opinion, there are companies that take advantage of Pride as a way to make money and don't seem to really care that much, one, about their designs, or two, about the LGBT community. There are other companies that do the same thing, but they have an element of giving back, and their proceeds go to these different organizations. I think that is a lot better approach to take for a company. When you're appropriating imagery or a cause, you should give back to that cause. That's my opinion. So check out that link below to see, I think it's about 10 companies that are doing that. And most of those companies I will not be mentioning in this video. There's some really interesting products. They're like eyewear and flowers. Let's start looking at some collections. The first we'll look at are a few pieces from Balenciaga. Now, I think Balenciaga did a pretty good job this year, but I'm seeing seeing from them is that they're not just slapping rainbows on things. Now they do have some rainbows, like this pair of underwear, but it's more subtle. It's black underwear and you've just got the little touch of rainbow around the band. So that's cool. But then they also have some shirts that look like they're from the Gap, which is interesting. And I don't know if Balenciaga and the Gap are owned by the same umbrella company and why they would be using Gap imagery. Balenciaga appropriates imagery a lot, like some Disney imagery and other things. So maybe that's just part of their deal. But anyway, instead of Gap, these say gay. It's more subtle because it's not that in-your-face rainbow. It's more neutral colors. It looks like a design you're used to seeing. It's not until you read it that you take a second look. They also have this imagery, which I love, and I feel like it's a pretty clever design and that it could work for several different groups of people. They have this, I believe, on a tank top, a hat, a t-shirt, maybe some other apparel, and it's more subtle as well. Because again, not only do you have neutral colors here, but you have to look at the imagery and give it a minute before it really clicks in your brain. So I think that's very clever. Balenciaga is up there on the list of great Pride designs. Now let's look at a few bad ones. Coach and Coach Outlet. Coach did exactly the same design, if my memory doesn't fail me, as they did last year. They took their regular signature canvas with all the C's on it, and they just made the C's into rainbow colors, and they have it on that classic tan background. I find this quite boring, especially since it's the same design as last year. And last year, they had the tan background, and then at the outlet, they had the same rainbow CC's, but a white background, so at least you had a little bit of a different design. This year, they haven't even made that much effort. They have taken exactly the same design from Coach Boutiques, slapped it on bags from the outlet, so the designs are exactly the same, they're just on different pieces. At the boutiques, you'll find this design on some of their most popular bags, like the Willow, the Field Tote, the Swinger bag. You'll also find it on accessories like this headband. At the outlet, you'll find it on popular bags like the Rowan satchel, or this little piece that looks a whole lot like the Swinger bag. You know how there are lots of outlet pieces that look a lot like the boutique pieces? There you go. You'll also find it on a lot of accessories, jewelry and things. They do have some summer wear like a rainbow sarong or this beach towel, which actually does have the white background, or accessories like a sunglass case. But again, I just find these completely unoriginal and quite boring. There's really no creativity there. And by the way, I'm an artist if you don't know that, so I can speak to creativity and design with some authority. Now let's move to UGG. UGG is down there on the list with Coach, but just above Coach. UGG has done the exact same thing that Coach did. They've taken their UGG logo, UGG, and they've slapped it on different pieces in a pattern and made it into a rainbow like on this t-shirt. However, I will give them some credit because they put the rainbow on some other items too, sometimes in obvious ways, sometimes in a little less obvious, a little more creative ways where they've broken the rainbow up some. For example, these slippers, or these slippers, which one is warm colors basically and one is cool colors. They do have this shirt, which I like, and I like how it says love and how the colors, everything is a rainbow, but you can still read it because of the way it's designed. Okay, now this I love because you'll know I'm into sequins. The rainbow sequin dress and the rainbow sequin jacket. Thank you very much. That's fun. And then there are these rainbow coats that aren't just stripes, but they've broken it up into these organic shapes. And then they have one that's the bright rainbow colors and then one that's different hues. And I like that because that's another thing that bothers me when people do these rainbow collections, is it tends to be those very bold hues. A red is red and a royal blue and that sort of thing. They don't vary the shades and hues of those colors. And you could do so much more. You could be a lot more creative with your design if you did play with the color more. UGG also has a line within this collection highlighting transgender flag colors. This is pink, blue, and white. So they have dresses, they have tops, they have socks. Let's jump to another collection I really enjoy, and that is the one by Converse. So they have several sneakers, they also have some t-shirts and things. Most, if not all of the items have been designed by someone in the LGBTQ community, and each one is pretty different. A lot of them do use rainbows, but they're using the rainbow in a much more creative way, where they're not just stripes and they're not just rainbows, they're really integrated into another design. And on the website where they have the listings, they also have the artist next to the listing, so you can see who designed it. And I love that about it. To me, me, this makes the collection more legitimate because they're actually using it to support the community, not just to make money. Okay, you guys want to know what my absolute least favorite Pride collection is that I've come across? This is the one from Disney. From an article that I read, and I don't know if this is 100% accurate, but apparently Disney has released Pride collections before. However, this is the first year they're calling it a Pride collection. So they've had pieces with rainbows. That's pretty much all they do on this, is use rainbows. But this year it's actually called Pride and it's marketed as a Pride collection. Here's what I hate about it. These are the most commercialized designs. What they've done is taken logos and imagery that they already use and that are already in your face all the time, like Disney World, like Mickey Mouse, like Marvel, like Star Wars, and they've added a rainbow to it. There's little to do with the LGBTQ community. It's just marketing Disney with a rainbow. For example, this rainbow Mickey Mouse, or this rainbow Mickey Mouse backpack, or this rainbow Star Wars hat, or this rainbow Marvel shirt, or this rainbow Mickey Mouse Disney World shirt. You see what I mean? There's no creativity to this. There's no real design to it. It's just a logo with a rainbow on it. And now it's time for my absolute favorite Pride collection from 2022. Are you ready? Drum roll, please. It's from Target. The Target Pride collections get a lot of attention. If you Google Target Pride collection on YouTube, you're gonna find a lot of videos on them. The ones that I saw as I was preparing for this video were all from last year. I haven't seen any new ones for this year yet, but I'm sure they are starting to pop up. And I think the reason the Target collection gets so much attention is because of how diverse it is and creative. They have rainbows. They have pieces with rainbows. Of course they do. You can't really get around that, but they have a ton of things that don't have rainbows and that address different issues within the community, promote different messages, and have designs that appeal to more people. Also, they have quite a wide selection. It's not just apparel. Check this out. This is directly from their website. They have apparel for adults and for kids. They also have family groupings of apparel, so you can all match, like especially if you're doing a parade. Accessories and jewelry, home decor, pets, books, party supplies, and something called Bullseye Playground. I'm not sure what that is really. And I'm going to link this website, of course, below. If you scroll down it, you're going to see this stuff that I'm talking about at the top of the page, not way at the bottom like it's hidden. At the bottom is where all the products for sale are. At the top, you're going to see this. You're going to see information about LGBTQ designers who have been hired to create pieces for these collections. You'll see this where if you are an LGBTQ company or designer, you can let Target know and they can consider you for future collections. You'll see that Target is giving back to different organizations that support the community. And you'll see that they're featuring brands like Skittles, Johnson & Johnson, Oreos, Perrier that also support the LGBTQ community. Again, all of this is at the top of the Pride collection page. You have to scroll way down through this stuff before you even get to the stuff you can buy. And that alone tells me something about Target's priorities here with their collection. Of course they care about profits, but they really seem to also care about supporting the community and about education. Let's look now at some of the pieces in their collection. Of course you have some rainbows, like this equality t-shirt, but it's not head to toe rainbow. They probably have some pieces like that. This is a little bit more subtle and you get a message across. Here you have a rainbow, but not in rainbow colors. How novel. Here you have the Apple Watch featured. Now this of course is an Apple product, Apple design, but Target sells a lot of things. And the Pride rainbow Oreos. Here's a t-shirt worn by a girl with a cartoon that says, "I'm busy thinking about girls." Here's one that addresses pronouns. I know that's a touchy subject for a lot of people. Don't even think about it. Here's one that says, "Love is not a crime." Again, I'm really liking how it's not just like the Target logo in rainbow, but you're actually getting messages across. These are much more thoughtful designs. Here you have one that they've included in the Pride collection, and it's meant to be part of the Pride collection. It has some rainbows on it, but it looks like something out of the 80s, right? So it's a much more subtle Pride piece. This could work every day, or you could wear it in a Pride parade. Okay, this one I'm including because I need some help understanding this. This one goes above my head. This must relate to something that I do not know about. It says adult plant parent, and it's part of the Pride collection. What does that have to do with Pride? And then they also have this planting pot, and it says this plant has no gender. What's the deal with plants and Pride? I don't know this one. Here's a jean jacket from Levi's. Butterflies. And this piece is from the Fluid Project. They have several pieces that have historical photos related to LGBTQ moments in time, and they have information about that moment. And I love that because it's educational and it sends a message and it's more subtle. It's not the screamy in your face rainbows. They also have rainbow bags, and I love these little pet things, little rainbow skirts and a little rainbow outfit that says love is love. So those are my thoughts on this year's Pride collections. Let me know what you think of these Pride designs in the description box below. And if you found any other collections that I didn't talk about, I'm sure there are plenty. If there are some you love or hate, let us know in the description box. Let's have a conversation about this. What do you think of the rainbow being all over these things? Do you love it? Do you not really love it like I don't? Made that clear, haven't I? I look forward to hearing what you have to say. That brings us to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to go over to Devin's channel. It's linked below, very close to the top of the description box. Check out what Devin has to say about Pride collections. What did he find that I didn't find? How does he feel about rainbows? And support his channel. Subscribe too. He makes some great content and varied. He does handbags, but he also does like these really peaceful walks in the park and shots of this lake that they go to. And he does some very entertaining taste tests. So go check that out. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye.